Well, hey guys, this is your informational video over the equipment project. So this is either or from the Live Binder project. You get to pick which one you want to do. You don't have to do both, of course, but if you're feeling a little bit more crafty, if you're feeling a little bit more hands-on and you want to have something tactile, this is the project for you. So with the equipment project, again, you're actually going to construct well, you need to also purchase some materials from the store, from online, from anywhere. It's fine, but there are some things that you will have to buy. So if cost is a factor, again, Live Binder might be a better option for you. However, this equipment is meant to be used for recess activities, things that can be done in the classroom, indoor recess, instructional activities. So this equipment should actually be quite durable and also professional looking. In that it's not going to be just something you hand in and throw away. It's going to be something that you're going to use in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road. And that's the idea behind this project, sustainability. But the evaluation of the materials will be determined through durability, quantity, specificity, and the appearance. Again, I want you to think about that this is professional looking equipment that students want to play with and not just a project you're turning in and then tossing away. So the requirements for the project are listed here. And so the first one is you need to have 5 yarn balls or 5 bean bags. And I have pictures of all of these things so you can get an idea of what I'm looking for. But 5 yarn balls or 5 bean bags. Then you also need to purchase a beach ball. Please leave it deflated, so don't blow it up. But this is something you can find, of course, at the dollar store, Walmart, but just something that you can blow up and inflate to do activities with, and I'll show you plenty of activities you can do with that. Then you also need a playground ball, which should be purchased. This is the playground ball I'm looking for with regards to the thick rubber balls, not the ones you can get at the dollar store, but the thick Kick playground balls. They're usually about $4 or $5 at Walmart or any type of store. So make sure you get a good quality ball. Don't worry about a needle to blow it up or inflate it. You can leave it deflated if it's already deflated, but your PE teacher will be able to inflate it for you. 5 2-liter bottles for bowling pins or targets. I'll explain what those look like in just a moment. 4 to 5 plastic wiffle balls. Wiffle balls are those balls that have holes in them. They're plastic. They're usually white, but they have holes in them so they don't go super far. So 4 to 5 of those. 2 large numbered dice. I'm asking you to make these or purchase these. Again, I'll show you what they look like. 5 jump ropes total. It says appropriate length because I'm asking you to not do double Dutch jump ropes, but something that would, be easy for a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old to jump with. So think about a 5 to 6 foot jump rope possibly. And then number 8 and number 9 is choice of equipment. So 3 to 5 of something else, and it cannot be, more bean bags, or it cannot be more wiffle balls. It's got to be something different that other children can play with as well. And then finally is the plastic container to hold all the equipment. It should be decorated. Well, it shouldn't have to be decorated, but I'm saying I would appreciate it if it was decorated so kids can want to, get in it and explore it and things like that. But if it just has your name, that's just fine. Just as long as it's like a Rubbermaid Tupperware container, so all the stuff will fit inside clearly and it's not all over the place. For equipment, if you click on these links, it will take you to a couple of different places of how to create equipment. This is PE Central, and it has a list here of how to make certain items, and so that would be something good for you to explore. Whoops, sorry. This one is how to make yarn balls, and yarn balls are specific. Well, minus the ad here. Yarn balls are kind of poof. Are poof balls. So they look like this, not the ones that you actually wind around with yarn, but that's what they should be. Pom-pom balls, poof balls, essentially. So she takes you through how to make them and how it looks. This is the easiest method to do, and you can do them different colors and things like that. So anyway, that is that link. So that's the project, but let's go ahead and look at some equipment samples. I have these listed for you as well. So equipment examples. Actually, let me bring you over here so you can see a little bit better. So the first one is bowling pins, and so these are traditional style bowling pins. You don't necessarily have to make them red and white. There are different options, but make sure they look, again, professional looking and kids want to play with them. If you're going to paint the bowling pins to decorate them, then consider painting the inside versus the outside. The outside always crinkles, right? So make sure you paint the inside. But here are some other samples here of bowling pins. You can decorate them with tissue paper. These are, I think, Pringle cans. They work just fine. So those are all acceptable. These are dice that you can create on the left-hand side. Durable with duct tape. On the right hand side, not so durable, as you can see, stapled and not really looking very professional. So I'm looking for something like this, and a couple different ways you can do this, but a couple students have done a a cardboard box, stuffed it with Walmart bags so it fills out the shape, and then duct tape the whole thing, and that way it holds its shape. But here are the professional, not professional, but the the ones you can purchase on like Amazon or something. They are relatively big, so I'm looking for the bigger dice, that are at least maybe about 10 to 12 inches long versus the little tiny ones. Everybody should be able to see it when you throw them on the floor. Here's another sample of dice that a student did. Here are some fluff ones that are stuffed with cotton. So a student actually sewed these and put them together. So that's another option. Again, it's any which way you'd like to do them, just that they're durable, colorful, and professional looking. So lots of different ways. These are bean bags, and you will have to sew bean bags or yarn balls. Remember, you have the option, but sewing is expected for bean bags because staples are not safe. And so you can hand stitch them. That works just fine. Super glue I've seen come apart, so make sure you stitch them. That's the best method. And also consider what you put inside of them. Not to be rocks. I've had rocks before, but something like beans or some rice. Not too heavy, but something like that. Or even pasta works great. Just not real sand, as sand will seep out through little cracks. So you can do you can do bean bags, or you can actually do yarn balls. And so the yarn balls look like this. They're poofy. I put my pen there so you can see the size I'm looking for. Poofy, and they're fun, and that way if it falls on top of, if someone gets hit in the head or knocked it with the yarn ball, it doesn't hurt anybody. So it should be something fluffy. Not this. You might have seen these before, but that hurts. So make sure it is fluffy and poofy. This is a playground ball I'm looking for, the real rubber tough balls, not the plastic ones. These are called Zoomers. This would be an optional equipment, and it's a tennis ball with a long tail, kind of wrapped around in a like a tube sock. These are really cute and fun, but as soon as you throw a ball up or throw the Zoomer up, the pom-pom balls are all going to fall off, and the buttons. So consider your decorating style and make sure it's durable. These are much more durable. Same idea of equipment called Zoomers, and kids would want to play with those. So tie-dye would be a great way to go. Another option would be to do, these are pantyhose hangers, rackets. So old pair of pantyhose wrapped around a wire hanger, and then with the electrical tape or duct tape at the bottom, that protects your hands from any sharp things. And then you can, use a yarn ball, use a wiffle ball, and get to hit back and forth. These are balloon paddles. I would not recommend doing these because they are made out of paper plates, and they're just not very durable. They tear easy, even if they are for balloons. So go for something a little bit more durable for a racket than the balloon ones. This is called a streamer. It's a wooden dowel with electrical tape, and then the plastic tablecloth that you can buy at a dollar store. Just shred it. Cut it, and then attach it to the dowel, and you have a streamer that you could teach fine arts, music, movement, artistic expression with these as well. Another option would be to do scoops, and so you use a gallon milk jug or juice jug and decorate it, and then you have something that kids can play catch with a bean bag or a yarn ball or anything like that. Again, some more scoops, and this particular student here even attached a yarn ball to it, so that would be kind of fun to use as well. I've had some students turn in cornholes before, and so you could create a cornhole game, and that would be completely acceptable if you decide to do that. Balance boards are a great way to go as well, in that they actually stimulate the brain in so many different Forms and Fashion, and it's a kind of an additional, working space, activity space that kids can go read a book, have some free time, even in a classroom. These are being used. So you can create one. On the right there is like a homemade version that you can just get a piece of plywood and then grab a pool noodle, and boom, you have an instant balance board. Maybe get for something a little bit more colorful than just plain black, but consider your preference and even your theme if you have a theme for your box. You do not have to, although I have seen themes of like minions, ladybugs, frogs, superheroes, all kinds of stuff. Stability wobble discs. You can purchase these at a store, or you can create your own, but it's kind of a cushy seat and allows kids to wobble and sit in their chair and play around, which is great for the back, and of course fidgeting. I've even had ring toss turn in as well, so that would be another option. This is a particular piece of equipment a student turned into me. He had a superhero theme in his box, and he made this. They were called spider webs, cobwebs, and essentially it was able to bounce, but you could also throw it and catch it, and it was a really unique piece of equipment, and so I gave him full credit for that, for thinking outside the box. So don't think that you have to conform to all the options I've given you. If you find something else that you want to use or try or explore, feel free. This is your time to be creative in your equipment. And then the last thing, of course, is just making sure that it's in a box where everything is, neatly and put together. I realize that if you have a balance board or something like hula hoops or anything like that, that they will not fit inside the box, and that's fine. But the majority of it should fit nice and neatly inside of a box. Also, to remember, include your name on that box. That way, I have a way of identifying whose box it is. You don't necessarily have to write your whole name on the outside, but just as long as it's written somewhere on the inside. But that's the equipment box. It's out of 50 points, graded on specificity, durability, appearance, professional looking. And so if you have questions, feel free to ask me and let me know how I can help. But I hope you would consider maybe doing this project over the live binder if you're interested. But if you prefer the live binder, that's fine. That's fine as well. Check the course plan for the due date for this particular assignment, and let me know if I can help. Thanks, guys.